Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind.
Christmas. Deadlights Christmas.
Deadlights
Christmas.
Welcome to the Deadlights Christmas special. I'm your host, Santa Sam.
And I am Elf Leslie, bringing you your little meaniness. Or no, this is not a meaning.
This isn't a mini episode.
No, this is a full episode. My bad.
Big old episode.
Bringing you your biggest episode yet.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's the holiday special. As we already mentioned, we're getting into the holiday spirit, or a holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Not sure it's the one that we all think of, but yeah, we're taking it to Christmas in this episode.
And boy, did we.
Boy, did we. And we did with Santa's Sleigh from 2005, written and directed by David Steiman. Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel, so he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways.
Oh,
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
It's a Christmas movie.
it was a kind of movie.
They made a film. They certainly made a film.
I wish they didn't.
So I guess off the bat, we should probably say that, first of all, our first holiday movie of the podcast.
Yeah,
so
that's exciting.
That's a chapter marker. First holiday film. There's a lot of actual horror holiday movies. So this is the first one that we got on the podcast. Second note, bad movie. Bad movie alert. Wow.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Yes. So I guess just going into this thing, if you don't like us talking bad about movies, if you're not a fan of that kind of episode, maybe go to the next one or go back to one where we're really praising a movie, because there's not going to be much of it.
We'll have to find some positive notes.
I can think of some, actually.
You can?
I can. Yeah,
okay,
for
I
sure.
fell asleep.
I know. But I can think of some positive things that we can talk about. I mean, quite honestly, you fell asleep a little more than halfway through the movie. By that time, you get what the movie is going for. So you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Merry Chanukah!
Yeah, happy Christmas to you too.
You didn't miss much.
Oh
You
my
didn't miss
God.
much.
It was terrible.
Well,
it was so nuts. Let's
It
get
was really
in.
bad. It was really bad, but let's get into it. Let's get to the can. The actual filmmaking of this thing, which, it is very much like an after school special. Mm-hmm. Very overdramatic acting, it's like a Hallmark movie,
Yeah,
almost,
absolutely.
which they have a lot of Christmas Hallmark movies.
They do.
So this can maybe fit in line with that.
I mean, they were talking about God and Jesus.
I live in hell, for Christ's sakes.
True. That's why you dare not use the Lord's name so indiscriminately.
This movie, and this does go with the can because it's about the filmmakers, was made by mostly Jewish people. The majority of the actors are Jewish. The writer/director is Jewish as well. So this pushing hard of Christianity down our throat kind of feels a little intentional on the part of the director. And it was very blatant.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that as a Jewish person, when Christmas comes around, this Christianity feels like it's probably being pushed down your throat. So that had to be somewhat intentional and kind of making fun of Catholicism, Christianity, the whole lore around Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
It is. I mean, working in customer service, I did change my lingo to be holidays, because I don't know if people celebrate. I don't know what their, religion is. So, so that lady, the old lady that comes in, and it was like,
And have a very happy holiday there, Mrs. Talbot.
Don't use that political language shit with me. It's Christmas. Wish me Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Talbot.
Thank you, and go fuck yourself.
Man,
she was a terrible person.
she's really just ticking off all the boxes of a bad person.
Yep. And then when she dies, when she gets killed by Santa, we don't feel bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's cool because, yeah, she was an racist, shitty old lady. So
Oh my god, yeah.
bye.
She called the minor a whore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this movie was terrible.
Yes, going back to the script, while some of the probably religious, like, over dramatized themes were intentional, the script was definitely trying to be super quippy and like funny, but a lot of it was just like potty humor or like actually offensive for no reason.
Do you work for Cock or Bush?
Never worked for Bush, only Cock.
So you like Cock, huh?
Cock's terrific.
And there was like multiple instances where we have just a random comedic scene in the middle of just everything going on. There was like that one that we're talking about, and then there was that just random fart joke in the middle of the grandpa son scene.
I don't see any reason to commercialize Santa. Besides, he hasn't always been that lovable poster boy for Coca-Cola. Oops. Sorry.
Felt like the movie was actually just a bunch of Santa killing scenes interrupted by this like loose story that we don't really care about going on, and it was just definitely more about Santa going around and killing people.
Yeah,
Santa slaying.
Santa went to a strip club and started going ham.
Went crazy.
Killed all the men. He didn't kill a single woman.
That's where he draws the line. But he does say he would kill children. So children are on the table. Grown women, no way.
Oh my lord.
Or maybe just strippers. I don't know. We didn't see him encounter another.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because he killed the old woman.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's strippers. He's got a hard stance against killing strippers.
Oh
So,
god.
okay, Santa's, you know. Because what we learn through this movie is that Santa is Satan's son.
Yeah.
Oh no, that kind of is like the truth that Nick is trying to uncover is, first of all, Santa is actually a demon, spawn of Satan, literally.
Yeah.
And then he lost a bet against an angel who's actually the main character's grandfather and has to be good for 1,000 years. But the bet's off, so that's why Santa's killing people. And he's coming for Grandpa to get revenge.
What a wild fucking story.
What a story. What a story.
Wow.
I don't know how, like, I actually don't know, like, how this movie came to be, but it should be noted that the guy who plays Santa was a very famous WWE wrestler, Goldberg. And I think that to the movie's credit, they do use him pretty well as far as like him being a stunt person.
And Santa's supposed to be this like jolly person, and they just absolutely reversed it. But the acting, terrible.
I was gonna say, yeah, there wasn't really much of it.
Oh my gosh, there were moments where I thought I was like, I didn't understand. Like, I did not understand what they said because of how terribly delivered it was.
Yes.
You want to lift home?
Thank you. No.
I'm sorry, Nicholas. I'm sorry I even came over here tonight.
Oh. Looks like someone punched out Mr. Green's Festival of Lights.
There are a lot of moments between those two that I think were awkward because, yeah, they were clearly young. They weren't adults acting as teenagers. I think they were actual teenagers. Yeah.
They didn't have much chemistry going on. I think they were trying to push it, but again, the script was really, really bad. So every time that they were trying to have an emotional scene between them, it was interrupted by someone having a fart joke or like being super offensive.
I'm as happy as a Make-A-Wish kid. Thanks.
Yeah. You got my number. Call me when you're ready for a more mature relationship. Yeah, but you hit like a girl.
Yeah, well, you kiss like a guy.
But yeah, any positive notes in the can before we get into the meat?
No, let's get to the meat. Let's just get to the meat of it. Which, this is going to be pretty slim too.
What's the face?
I think, because I was really struggling trying to like figure out what this movie's trying to say.
What the fuck
It's not
is...
really trying to say anything except everyone in this town, Hell Township, that's where this takes place, kind of, they say on the outward that they love Christmas, like that old lady, you know, and the pastor who actually goes to the strip clubs and all this kind of stuff. Everyone says that they love Christmas and that they're good Christians, but actually everyone has kind of just forgotten what Christmas is all about. They're all pretty shitty people.
Don't let this bird taste like a shoe like it did last year. Let it be tender and moist just for once.
Yeah, moist. That would be nice.
Well, that's something for your stocking.
You weren't even here, Pastor.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah! Nice tits!
I can't wait to see the shit we got. Can we open our motherfucking presents now?
Of course.
Go ahead, kid. Let's see what Santa got you.
So yeah, that's kind of what I got, is that this town that on the outside seems to be so into the traditions of Christmas, when you like zoom in on these people, they're actually all just shitty people and are not representing what Christmas is supposed to be about at all.
And then if you expand that, you know, America, because there's a lot of that's it, America, period.
Mic drop.
There's a lot of flags, you know, being used to like murder and stuff like that. So I'm just thinking, it's like, okay, well, here we are saying that like we're the best freaking country in the world, and look at us, we have everyone's free, and it's like lies.
It's all just actually shitty people just taking advantage of whatever the excuse
Christmas.
is of taking. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I think that it's definitely like a turning the mirror on ourselves kind of movie. And especially taking into consideration the filmmakers. I think it's trying to be some sort of comment on how we use these things as excuses to just be shitty.
Yeah.
You're just as loony as your crackpot grandfather. Tell that boob to put some Christmas decorations up.
So I think that is what it was trying to kind of get at. But I think we should get to the cook, because how did they actually present that?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they showed it. They showed that people are shitty people, and when people are shitty people, they get consequences.
They die.
But that was it. It was just, you're bad, and then Santa comes and kills you, literally. And then that was the whole movie.
Naughty.
The cook really comes in with the acting and with the writing, and both those things truly did not deliver.
Not at all. Not at all.
So when it comes to the cook of it, it's hard to say that it cooked it at all. I mean,
is this even going to be a good episode? Like,
I don't know.
Are people going to want to hear this?
I mean, you can go. I would encourage you to go watch it for yourself to understand what we're talking about too.
There's so many movies like this.
Yeah.
Like I want to say Sharknadoes is the movie that kind of made this genre blow up.
Mm-hmm. This
B movies,
horror.
There's so many that, you know, in retrospect, it is more of a comedy movie,
sure.
and
Absolutely.
you're just supposed to put it on and just kind of laugh.
Yeah.
Of the silliness of it, or you can just fall asleep. It makes a really nice film to put yourself to bed.
Yeah. I don't think that when the people who are making this movie were making this movie, they were thinking, this should definitely be on a movie review podcast.
Yeah.
They were not thinking about
No.
that. And fair. I mean, that isn't what this movie is going for. This movie is going for ridiculous comedy. And also, to your point of like not even like B horror, but during Christmas time, so many Hallmark movies come out just trying to capitalize on this Christmas on the season.
And it's the same goddamn movies
Same
coming
movie.
out.
Yeah.
Like, we already have 20 of that one that just came out. So why not just make it a horror film where Santa is the bad guy?
Sure. At least we're getting some good fight scenes.
Yeah, they were not that bad.
Yeah. Let's get to the thrill because obviously the thrill is Santa. He is our villain through this whole thing.
He's our villain.
And I honestly thought that some of those fight choreography scenes were pretty fun. Like they were, not only are you working with a real stunt person who is playing Santa, you get to play with holiday things.
Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
For a evil Santa movie, these fight scenes at least are entertaining.
They should have just stuck with them.
Right.
They should have just grabbed all the Santa killings and just made a movie about that and forgotten all about the other characters because that made no sense. What's the game that they needed to play?
Curling. Yeah.
They needed to fucking curl.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went into the decision of like, it was a curling competition.
What?
It wasn't like a dog sled race or something epic like that. It was a curling competition.
It was curling. And the hole is hell.
The hole is hell.
Yeah. The target is hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Part of that lore. Wow.
Wow.
You know what? It's probably more on the cheaper option of being competition with a demon. You know, instead of like a big battle, we just got a curling competition where you roll a rock.
Yeah. Because, like, they were using an old man for an angel. And, I mean, I'm just assuming he's not a WWE
I'm not thinking
wrestler.
No. So they couldn't.
So they couldn't.
No.
He would have broken in half.
Yeah, that
Poor
old
little
man
grandpa.
would have snapped it.
Yeah, there's like a big old book too.
Mm-hmm.
I love when there's like a big old book in movies.
Yeah.
I just find that to be really, I don't know, it adds some realism to it a little bit, or it just like magnifies the lore of it.
Kind of makes it feel Christmassy too. We got a big book. We're listening to stories.
Because like someone took the time to like make that, and they made it look good.
I read that the words that were in there are actually Icelandic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, someone had to do that.
Yeah.
Someone had to fabricate that.
The Icelandic words are so long.
Yes, they are.
The signs, some of the signs were so long. They're like the longest signs I have seen by the road. I'm like, I don't even, how do you pronounce that? Not to make fun of y'all Icelanders, but
beautiful country.
Wonderful.
I wish I could be there now. I wish we could have watched this there. That would have made it a little better, I think.
With all the Icelandic people that artists.
They could have told us what was in the book, I guess. Yeah, I agree. I did actually like that book and some of his inventions. Like he was kind of a kooky character.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to call it Record Man. But then that seemed so generic. I'm going to call it the Back Wax Pack.
Yeah, one of the kooky things is that the girl gives a gift to the boy.
You got me a gun?
And then he like opened it up and it was Optimus Prime because he had shared that he wanted an Optimus Prime when he was younger. And because his grandfather doesn't celebrate Christmas, he's never gotten a gift.
Yeah.
But still, Optimus Prime does not turn into a gun.
No,
They're
no.
cars.
I've never seen that version of Optimus Prime.
And also, yeah, a gun, like any gun toys. I'm just like,
like that. I think that scene is a perfect example of what I was talking about before. Of they were trying to build chemistry between these two characters, and I think that actually is like a sweet gesture of getting him the gift that he always wanted. But the fact that you have it turned from a gun, and also the fact that he uses the R word just like right out, that kills all like sentimentality that we have for these two characters or for the scene.
And he wasn't even like, we saw maybe 2% of concern. He looked around barely. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, a gun? Like, what are you... yeah, like, what?
Yeah.
No, he was just like holding it and like about to like fucking shoot it. And he's like, a gun?
He was pissed that she was so R-word.
I mean, those R words are very strong.
Oof. He screamed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they use it like twice? They used it twice.
They use that. They also use a couple other words. Like that's what I was saying. Like some of the comedy at certain points, it was being offensive, I think, to try to be funny, but in the end, it just was offensive for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like it was being cleverly offensive. It was they were just throwing in words like that, and there was definitely some other choice words that were not PC that were just thrown in to be funny, but it wasn't. It was random and offensive. So
also, like, I understand, like that was what people had. That was the language that we used back in the day, but like, I never used it.
And also, we know there are other movies in 2005, other comedies in 2005 even, that don't use those words or aren't trying to just be offensive to be funny. So we know it's possible to be funny even in 2005 without doing that.
I gave this to Sean McKenzie in '87. Queer.
When was this?
2005.
2005. Okay.
Still, like that feels too late. Because like I wrote down, it feels like the 90s.
Yeah, it does.
2000. Like this feels and looks like a 90s film, but it's not. It's like 5 years into the 2000s.
Did we just like not change until like 2010? Like, I mean, was it the 90s for 20 years?
I mean, people were still obviously trying to shake. I mean, whoever this filmmaker was or writer probably either grew up in the 90s or the 80s or whatever. And so that obviously seeps through. And I don't know. It's always that discussion of like, how much can you hold it against them because of the time? But I feel like I said before, we know that it's possible, even in 2005, to probably make a Santa comedy of him killing people without using those words. Because there were some other funny parts of the movie that were just ridiculous because we have Santa killing people. That's inherently funny. We don't need them like throw in these offensive words or fart jokes or anything like that. Just have Santa kill people with that would have been satisfying enough.
And then they made him like also kind of sexy. That's why like I mentioned that there were just like a lot they were trying to accomplish and in the script, quote unquote, say.
Yeah.
And it just like all felt flat.
For sure. Absolutely. It was just an action movie in the end, which I think, let's just get to the ride and say that I think, in the end, the best part of this movie was the fight scenes with Santa just throwing people around, kicking their ass. Like, those were the most exciting parts of the movie. But it was just interrupted by a story full of pretty offensive characters that was like not really it was pretty flat. Like
it was flat. And this just goes to show how incredible these wrestlers, the amount of training and their work ethic is what shines in the end. And especially in this film, He's just so cool.
Yeah.
And
I
all
love
the
Santa.
scenes where he was like beating people up, that was like what was cool.
Mm-hmm.
They had him say though the most corniest, stupidest lines of all time.
Any Christmas reference you could possibly think of, he was throwing it out.
Who's your daddy? Father Christmas. Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people. I just love how the holidays always seem to bring people closer together.
He's been nice Santa for 1,000 years. He's been waiting to use these lines, and he's just throwing every single one out there.
Lord Jesus. Yeah, he was pretty much Spider-Man. You know, when he like Spider-Man goes and beats up people, and he's like, your friendly neighborhood, you know? And he's like, oh, what are you doing around here? Shouldn't you be at work? Or whatever. I don't know. I tried to make it.
Pretty good. Hey, you know what time it is?
It's 10
It's
o'clock.
work time. And then he kicks their ass.
Bam, bam.
Bam.
So yeah, that's how that was.
Yeah, and honestly, like, of every character in this movie, it makes sense for him to be that character because he is our villain, and you expect Santa to just come in, kill everybody, and then say a funny Christmas quip. That's it. That's all he did, and that's all he had to do.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
How did you like that Santa's kryptonite was, what was it?
The chestnut?
The chestnut.
I took one hit from his chestnut in the chest, and they made some sort of joke about chestnuts on the chest. And then he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all got me.
Okay, goodbye.
I'm going to go join a biker gang.
He retired. Yeah. For 1,000 years.
Okay. All right. I mean, they had to finish the movie, so I'm glad they did. Oh, God. The last thing I wanted to say about this movie was I really actually liked that they had a claymation scene because it's very Christmas, and it was the way to show, like, the lore of, like, what actually happened with the angel.
That was pretty cute.
I appreciated the claymation throw in there. Little Santa's sleigh.
How scary was it?
How scary was it? Not scary. Not scary at all.
I was scared that it was made.
Yeah. I was scared it was never going to end.
Yeah.
Is this not ending?
Oh my God, it keeps going.
Is this not ending?
Well, that's how I felt when I was falling asleep. Like, I would fall asleep and I would wake up and I'm like, it's still going.
This was one of the shortest movies we've watched too, by the way. It was only 70 minutes. It might have been the second shortest film we watched in this podcast.
Oh my God. I could have.
Which, by the way, the most short film that we watched on this podcast, The Black Cat, we also thought felt super long.
Yes.
So, goddamn, these short movies, we got to have like a good 60-minute movie or something coming up to redeem these short ones.
Please.
Like a good just hour long,
God.
just fucking scares the shit out of us, and then we're like, yes.
I want to be fucking scared.
Yes.
I want to be scared.
Me too. All right, well, why don't we get these Smash Pumpkin ratings?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's smash this baby up. Do you have a number?
I think I do.
Let's hear it.
I think it's the first time we're giving it half a star.
0.5. And what was that half for?
The half is the fight scenes. Yes. For me.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. I was contemplating on whether giving it a whole star, but I think that would just be too generous. So half a star.
Mm-hmm.
And look, we always say it. I'm happy that the people came together and did this film.
Absolutely.
Gave people jobs. And that's what matters at the end. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. And you're right. They made a movie, which is super hard to do. And I mean, as far as I can tell, it seems like they had a good time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The fight scenes were definitely fun. That is where pretty much all the respect for this movie comes from. And you know what? It was a different kind of Christmas movie than I'd ever seen before. You know what? I'll give it a 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a
Yeah.
a 1 out of 5.
So together it gets 1.5
out of 10.
out of
Zoinks.
10.
Wow. Santa slay.
Santa slayed.
Santa slayed. He did.
He
If we can say one
slayed.
thing about the film, he's definitely slayed.
Yeah.
Why don't we see who's slaying next week?
Yes.
Leslie,
Please.
you've been gone for too long, so why don't you pick this one out?
Okay.
And you were saying before that you want a scary one.
I want a scary
Give us a
one.
scary one. Be really
or we can
freaked.
stay in the witchy.
Cool.
I want the Blair Witch Project.
Ooh.
Please.
Is she about to pull the Blair Witch?
I
This is about to be the second time. Let's see.
Horror gods. Change my strip. No,
Change
just
my
kidding.
strip. That would've been dope.
That would be crazy. Okay. No, it's not.
Okay.
A married man's one-night stand comes back to haunt him when that lover begins to stalk him and his family.
Are we about to watch Fatal Attraction?
Yeah.
Ooh, Fatal Attraction.
Fatal
This
Attraction.
movie is. I really like this movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
No.
No.
Ooh, yeah. We're about to see some crazy stalker shit.
Ooh.
Fun stuff. Fun
well,
stuff. No supernatural.
No supernatural.
We're getting a psychological thriller in this one for sure.
That's
For
scary.
Sure. It's scary.
You know?
It is scary.
Well, damn.
Well, damn. Cool. It's another classic too, actually.
That's with Jimmy.
It is Michael Douglas and Glenn Close is the crazy stalker, and she is scary. Scary. Very scary.
Very scary. Well, all right.
Cool.
Well, awesome. Nice.
Catch you next week. We have a
Yeah,
number.
we
by the
do.
way, to call. We would love to hear your thoughts on this
Please.
movie,
Please call.
on other movies we reviewed, and just anything at all. Spooky stories.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Barnum.
And that number is
773-669-6677. Yep, and you can follow me on Instagram, Color Me Leslie.
And me at BeepBeeperGT. And us at the Deadlights Pod. Also, check out Playground Social, which is the studio that we're recording this from. But until next time, let's get spooky. Ding, 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 ding.